What's up, guys? So I'm back here trying to make an emergency video based on what's going on right now. So we got a dip this morning, right? And a lot of people, I know a lot of you guys out there are panicking. You guys are, losing your shit, your panties all up in the bunch. You probably already sold. But let me explain what's going on right now, okay? We're looking at this chart right here. And, okay, so we dipped. Now, what do I see happening in the near term as far as technical analysis goes? I see lower highs being formed, okay? Compressing on a support that keeps getting tapped. The $30,000 support, it got tapped 3 times already. 1, 2, 3. What I see happening probably is we're going to rise up for another lower high and then come back down. And then eventually it's going to break that support. And we might come down to like the 20,000, 25,000, somewhere around this area here. I don't know where, okay? But at the end of the day, that's just speculation on my part. As far as technical analysis goes, you guys know it's not 100% accurate. It's just using the chart to see human psychology, because trading and price action is all based on 2 psychology. That's it. Fear and greed. And that's all it is when it comes to investing. It's either fear or greed. When price goes past a certain point, you can see the greed, and that's why it's going to go higher. When it go below a certain point, you see the fear, and that's why people sell, and you're going to see the drop in price. That's all there is to it. There's no guarantee, but there's a high probability, right? So I don't know what's going to happen. But being that I'm an investor in Bitcoin, I don't even like to call it investing. To me, this is my savings. This is my everything. I look at Bitcoin as this powerful technology that allows me to be free, literally be free. You guys have to watch my previous videos. The video where I talked about Bitcoin being, all the money printing that's going on right now, how your money's worthless. And Bitcoin is the only lifeboat out of that. It's the only thing. It's literally your only lifeboat. So when I look at something like that, why do I care what happens on a day-to-day basis? If you guys zoom out, let's zoom out. Let's go to BLX, which is the long-term Bitcoin chart. Okay, put on a logarithmic function down here. I know you guys can't see it. I'm sorry, I'm blocking, but there's a logarithmic function down here. We're going to go to the weekly chart, okay? Or let's go to monthly. And we're going to look at Bitcoin in its bigger picture. I've shown this chart many times, and I'll continue to show it over and over again. This is Bitcoin when it was at up. Hold on, let me go ahead and drag this thing over so that you guys can. There you go. All right, so Bitcoin was down here, okay? Let's see, way down here at about 3 pennies, right? 3 cents, and we went all the way to $30,000. It's been a hell of a ride, guys. I mean, it's been 12 years in the making. Bitcoin was around since 2009, okay? Been 12 years. Let me tell you something about Bitcoin. If you guys are invested in Bitcoin, let me tell you something. This thing was never meant to survive this long. Straight up. This thing was never meant to survive this long. This is literally the one thing that the government, the Federal Reserve, everybody that's in power, this is what they're most afraid of. Because they've always, throughout history, the government have always had control over your money. And that's why I made that last video. You guys got to go watch it, where I said the Federal Reserve, they choose when to print money. They choose when to expand the monetary supply, which dilute your money because of supply and demand and destroy your purchasing power. That's what they do. And they have that power. With Bitcoin, they lose that power because for once, we have a technology that we can have our own money that we can plug into its monetary network. We become a part of this monetary network here that just doesn't lose any power. Literally no inflation. Nobody's going to print more than 21 million Bitcoin ever. For the first time, nobody can change that. No one. No government, no entity, no king, no queen, no dictator, no tyrant. Nobody can just come in and I don't care how much money you have. You can have $10 trillion. You cannot force the code of Bitcoin to change. It's set at the maximum cap supply, 21 million, and that's it. That's it. For the first time, we have something like that. The government hates it, and I'll explain. Okay. Do you think it's gonna be a smooth ride from here? If you know that this is the kind of technology that we have, do you think this is gonna be a smooth ride? Let's look at these right here. Janet Yellen, the new Secretary of Treasury that was promoted by Biden, right? She hates Bitcoin, apparently. Cryptocurrencies such as Bitcoin saying they're mainly used for illegal financing. Now, I'm not going to go into how that statement is fucking bullshit because money laundering, drugs, criminal activities, they're mostly funded by the USD, okay? People use cash. Nobody use Bitcoin. Bitcoin is on the blockchain. You can see what's going on. People are not anonymous on Bitcoin. Matter of fact, cash is anonymous. The blockchain is not. So I'm not even going to get into that. That's going to be another long video. But of course she hates fucking Bitcoin, guys. She's the Secretary of Treasury for the United States. And you guys see this headline that was written yesterday on the 20th, and you guys panic sell. You're like, oh man, Janet Yellen, this old lady here, hates Bitcoin. I better sell. You guys are. And then Donald Trump, right? He tweeted this back in 2019 in July when Bitcoin was like, I don't know, maybe $8,000, something cheap like that. I'm not a fan of Bitcoin and other cryptocurrency, which is not money and whose value is highly volatile and based on thin air. Oh, but you guys can print money literally at will without anybody doing check and balances on you. But Bitcoin is based on thin air. Bitcoin is based by code, by power, by electricity, by the people that power the network. Bitcoin cannot be changed. Its monetary policy cannot be modified without the consensus. It's literally hard money, literally immutable. That's what it means. But we're not going to get into that. My point in being is the government hates Bitcoin. Of course they do. Why wouldn't they? So that goes back to my main point. This thing was not meant to survive this long. The only reason why Bitcoin survived 12 years and it went from a penny all the way to $30,000 these past 12 years, the only reason why this happened is because Bitcoin is such a revolutionary genius technology that the government cannot stop it. They tried, right? They tried to stop this thing. They can't. They can't shut it down. There's nothing they can do about it. China trying to ban it. The United States, they try to go do everything. The CIA, they tried everything. They could not stop this thing. It's literally protected under free speech. And that's the most, arguably one of the most genius features when it comes to Bitcoin is that it just can't be stopped. It's just that powerful. So my point in saying is, did you guys think this is going to be a smooth ride? Did you guys think that for something this powerful, this revolutionary and represent this much rebellion when it comes in the government's eyes, when they look at people like us who buy Bitcoin, they thinking, man, these guys are fucking crazy. Did you guys think it's going to be a smooth ride? You guys think we're just going to go all the way up to like $1 million a coin without setbacks, without drawbacks, without days like today when everybody, the media, everybody wants to go against Bitcoin, wants to talk shit about Bitcoin. Oh, it's dead. Oh, this and that. Let's get into it. I like this tweet by my boy Eddie. Honestly, fuck weekends. If you're scared of pullbacks and have no idea what you invested in, please sell. Someone else deserves to have your Bitcoin. This is a long game. If you don't have the conviction or understanding in what you're investing in, let someone else do the work. I agree. The big boys aren't dumb. They will FUD the hell out of Bitcoin. FUD is fear, uncertainty, and doubt. Okay, that's when they circulate shit in the news, in the media, in order to get you to panic sell. They will FUD the hell out of Bitcoin if it benefits them to get cheap coins. Don't fall for it. And we'll get into that later. I'll explain what that means. So the thing about Bitcoin, let's look at the price once again, okay? Bitcoin stock to flow model was done by Plan B. He made this model that's been accurate in measuring the price of gold, commodities, and now he applied it to Bitcoin, okay? And according to his model, after the halving, which is May 2020, last year, and, at the end of this bull run, he thinks Bitcoin is going to be at $288,000. And that's just what the model, predicts. Now, I follow this page on Twitter called S2F Multiple, which is stock to flow. They track the stock to flow model and they see where the price is compared to where the model is going. So as you can see, the actual price of Bitcoin, this is 14 hours, was $35,000. The model price was only $30,000. So basically what that means is we're overshooting. We're going a little bit above and beyond. Remember, we were at 42,000. We had to come back. It has to be a reversion to the mean eventually. And this is the model. The model is the blue box, okay? So anywhere within that model, sometimes we overshoot like this right here, and sometimes we undershoot, we go below that right here. But typically we usually stay within this model. And if you can see, it predicts a $100,000 Bitcoin around the middle of 2021 right here. See where it touched right there? That's $100,000 Bitcoin. Now, if you can see, we touched the tip of that, the outside of that model, of that blue band, and then we had to pull back. That's all that was. Guys, we're supposed to be at $30,000 right now, according to the model. That's the projection, okay? We overshot. So now we have to correct and pull back. Big deal. Let me go ahead and pull this picture back here for you guys, okay? This is the 2017-2016 bull run, when we went from like $300 to $20,000. And we had a 38% dip, 33% dip, 38%, 36%, 29%. These are brutal dips, guys. These are brutal pullbacks. And if you look, this is the 1 week chart, meaning each one of these candle is 1 week. So when you look in hindsight, you're like, oh yeah, but it's not that big of a deal. It's 38%, I can handle that. But when you're feeling that dip full time, each one of these is a weekly candle. So that's the first dip. That's 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. This dip lasted like 15, 16 weeks, guys. That's like 3 months. Do you see that? Look, and then we finally came back up. This dip right here lasted 3 weeks, right? 1, 2, 3, and then we started coming back up. This one lasted 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 weeks. These are brutal dips, guys. These are months worth of just sitting there watching Bitcoin dropped during the middle of a bull run, where everybody's thinking, is it over? Is it over? Is it the bear market? And what do you think is happening during these dips? What do you think is happening? The media is just attacking. They smell blood. They just going in. They're just writing up all kinds of fucking bullshit ass story. Bitcoin is dead forever. It dropped. It's never going to recover. This thing will never go back up again. And look what happened. It keeps going back up. It keeps going back up. It keeps going back up. So what happened if you sold here? What happened if you panic sold right here? If you got scared and you sold right here, what then? Well, then you missed out on all this. And that's okay. That's on you, right? That's on you. But let's see what's the dip is this time. We dipped from 42,000, which is the top. I'll go to the daily chart, okay, so we can see things a lot easier. From 42,000 right here, okay, we dip. Let's see where we at. We went to the bottom, which is around 30,000, a 26% dip. And we already kind of recover a little bit. So right now we're sitting at a 22% dip. And you guys are panicking? A 22% dip. You guys are panicking right now. We got 38, 38, 33, 38, 36, 29. You guys are scared. And you guys are already scared. This is another chart. The same thing. 34, 33, 38, 40, 31. In the middle of a bull run. Broad daylight. You guys are already scared. How are you guys supposed to ride this thing out to the top? Anyways, let's get into the media now. Let's see what they're writing. Look at this fucking article, okay? Bitcoin falls 11% after report suggests a critical flaw in the network called a double spend that may have occurred. That was written this morning, right? And they got this picture of this dude with his fucking eyes all big and shit. Like, oh my God, like the media is good at this shit, man. I'm telling you, I made another video. Go watch my other video where the title was Bitcoin crash to level unseen since last week. I explained this. These guys are not experts. These are writers, editors. That's all they're good for. They write articles. They get you to click on their page. That's what they get paid for clicks, for views, for engagement. They're not writing articles that's accurate. So then let's debunk that. So basically a double spend attack is probably the most critical flaw. If this was to happen to Bitcoin, it would be a very big hit, because that would show that the network is not basically it's vulnerable, right? It's vulnerable to attack, to where you can spend the same $1 million twice. That's basically what that means, right? Andreas Antonopoulos, basically an OG in the Bitcoin network. He understands this thing like the back of his hand. Okay, he's way more technical than me. I'm not going to get into it, but if you want, you can follow his Twitter. Go on his Twitter account right here, and he explained the whole thing. A more detailed explanation of the whole double spend broke Bitcoin FUD, fear, uncertainty, and doubt that's circulated by an irresponsible publication. So basically, it's what's called an orphan block, but I'm not going to get into that. That's really heavy, guys. But yeah, he explained everything here if you guys want to read it. Okay. Smart investors are cursing my name right now because the window to exploit information asymmetry starting closing when I woke up this morning, as in they were trying to use the media to manipulate the masses to sell so they can scoop up Bitcoin for cheap. And then he basically woke up and he straightened it out. That's what he meant by that. And we'll see, okay? Just got off the phone with a reporter from Bloomberg. I expect a well-written article about how consensus algorithm works, meaning exactly as defined from the paper 12 years ago. Bitcoin has been working perfectly for 12 years. No mishap. Nothing to see here. So basically, yep, Bloomberg did write the article. I guess Bloomberg did get in touch with them, and he basically ripped them a new asshole, told them, you guys are fucking crazy, you guys are writing some fucking bullshit, and they fixed it. Why Bitcoin double spend story is being misinterpreted. Okay, cool. All right, well, thanks for that. So you can see the kind of bullshit that they write every time there's a dip. You guys gotta be prepared for that. If you're gonna be here for the long run, you better be prepared for that shit. So let's go over this again. I touched on this before, but I'm going to go over it again. Guggenheim CIO say Bitcoin may have topped out for now. Guggenheim, Scott Minerd, him, says that Bitcoin could retrace all the way back to $20,000. Now, Guggenheim is a very large fund. They have a lot of money. It's one of the largest fund in the world. But let's look into this, okay? Why is he saying that? Now, you guys remember back in January? Well, he said this way back, but he reaffirmed the price target again. Guggenheim, Scott Minerd, he reaffirmed the price target of $400K for Bitcoin again 2 days ago. He says that Bitcoin is going to go to $400,000 a coin at least. That's what he said. He went on CNBC and he said that. Now, you might be thinking that doesn't make any sense. If he thinks Bitcoin is going to 400,000, why is he saying that Bitcoin may have topped out for now and that it's going to go back to 20,000? Why do you think he's doing that? Huh? Well, let's find out. The Guggenheim Macro Opportunities Fund may seek investment exposure to Bitcoin indirectly through investing up to 10% of its net assets. You know how much money they have? 10% of their assets is billions of dollars. In Grayscale Bitcoin Trust, SEC filing, effective date 31st of January. So look, this is the SEC filing. They're taken directly from the SEC website. They filed for this, for the approval to invest in Bitcoin funds with their billions of dollars, but it won't be approved until January 31st. It's only January 21st right now, so they're sitting on the sideline, anxious. They're scared to death this thing's gonna rip up before they have a chance to buy. They're scared to death. So of course he's gonna write shit like this. Of course he's gonna go on and go on interviews and say shit like this. Oh yeah, it's over with, guys. Go home. Just sell. Just take your money off the table. Take your profits. Sell your Bitcoin. We're probably gonna go all the way back to 20,000. Guys, that's what these whales do. We call them whales. These big boys with money. Okay, that's what they do. They manipulate the media. They manipulate their social media, their influencing. They use their followings to create fear. And then so you guys, what we call weak hands, can sell so they can scoop up the Bitcoin for cheap. He would love for nothing more than for the Bitcoin to go back to $20,000 by the 31st. He would scoop that shit up like it's nothing. He's going to shoot that thing right back to 50K. That's exactly what he's planning. But a lot of people would fall for that trap. People that's not experienced or not, seasoned veteran in the market. I've been around since 2017, so I know what I'm talking about. I've seen this many times, guys, many times. So this ain't gonna fool me, but that's what he's doing, okay? Guys, let's end this with some of these media of what the fucking, guys, the media are so funny, man. Like they write whatever they want and they have no consequences. There's no consequences of them being wrong. Like nobody goes back and fire this guy, James Chapman, right here. Nobody fired James for fucking writing this bitch ass stupid article. Look what he wrote. Internet may be just a passing fad as millions give up on it. Wow, that was in 2000. That was 20 years ago. Can you imagine the world without the internet right now? Can you imagine all these companies that operate on top of the internet? Amazon, Netflix, Microsoft, Apple. Can you imagine? Can you imagine writing an article like this back in 2000? Internet may be just a fad as millions have given up on it. And what happened to James? Is he in jail? Did he lose his job? Did he get fired? Probably not. Motherfucker's still working. Guess what? Still writing bullshit. Probably moving on to Bitcoin now. Oh, Bitcoin is dead. It's going to be a fad. Millions of people giving up on it. We'll see. Guys, people been wrong. Experts have been wrong for a long time. This guy, Nouriel Roubini, with Bitcoin down almost 80% from its peak, 90%, I rest my case that this crypto bubble went burst for good. I feel vindicated. Ooh, he feels good, right? He feels good. He finally got rid of Bitcoin. He hates it. So I want to take a break from Twitter, blah, blah, waste of time, blah, blah. That was in 2018. Bitcoin was at $4,000 when he wrote this, and now we're at $30,000. You think this man is mad? You think he's mad? Hell yeah, it's fucking mad. Is there any consequences for him writing this tweet? No. Just life goes on. So if you're gonna give up your energy and sell your Bitcoin because you see fucking articles like this, slap yourself. Please slap yourself. And you know what? You should sell because it's not for you. Bitcoin is not for you. Bitcoin is not for the faint of heart. You're gonna see all kinds of shit. You're gonna see all kinds of attacks from the government. The president himself is gonna come out and say stupid shit. They hate Bitcoin. They hate it because they can't control it. They hate it because the power has been transferred from them to the people, to us. They hate it because they see our purchasing power is being retained. We're actually gaining purchasing power instead of losing it when we operate under the USD system that they have, that they continuously print money and inflate. That's what's going on, guys. So, look, all these institutions buying Bitcoin. Look, you can screenshot this, you can pause this video, and you guys are worried about this stupid little whatever, right? Whatever news that you guys happen to read for the day, and you don't see all this going on right here. But it's all right. Hope this video helped, guys. I mean, if you guys want to sell, go ahead and sell. It's not for you, but I ain't going nowhere.